What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Collegiate Football Legion, where we talk everything college football, especially HBCU football. Now, today we're going to be talking about why I think Sheduer Sanders has the most pressure on him, the most pressure out of any freshman, probably out of any player in the HBCU game right now, to produce. He has an immense amount of pressure on him. All eyes are going to be on him, especially now that Quincy Casey's gone, Jalen Jones is gone. People were already speculating, you're playing daddy ball, especially now that you've, attended Jackson State. You're enrolled at Jackson State. You left FAU. You left offers from Alabama on the table. You left an offer from Georgia on the table, from South Carolina, and your father's alma mater, Florida State. So what are people to assume now that you're playing for your father? Number one, they're going to assume that, oh, these guys left because they knew that you were going to get that job, whether you work for it or not. So now when he goes into the season and he sees FAMU week one, he doesn't have room for error. And I'm a fan of Sheduer, by the way. This is not to down him in any way, because I'm a big believer in him and I think he's going to do great things. But, facts are facts. He has the most amount of pressure on him. Week one out the gate, you got FAMU in the Orange Bloom Classic on ESPN. Your father has shouted from the rooftops that he is bringing black college football back to prominence, and you are going to be at the forefront of that. You're going to be the quarterback. And when you're the quarterback, especially a freshman, especially a highly touted freshman who passed up Power 5 offers to go to an HBCU, they're going to be looking at you like you better dominate, because you're expected to be at a bigger level right now, getting better and trying to compete for a spot up there. So them looking at you at the HBCU level, they're thinking to themselves, you better win. Do not forget, people were already seeing on Instagram, before he even made that commitment, people were already on Instagram seeing you training with Tom Brady. They saw your commitment video. They saw all the stars there. They know you have access to the best facilities, to the top-notch trainers, to arguably the greatest quarterback to ever play the game in Brady. You're getting lessons from him. There's no room for error for you, because you've had everything. You're expected to come in. You're expected to ball out. Now, granted, looking at the footage from his spring, it looks like he's doing pretty well so far. He already knows the offense because he ran it in high school. All Dion did was brought it over here, tweaked it a little bit, made some adjustments, so he's good on that. His receiving core is one of the best in the SWAC. He has weapons, so that wouldn't be a problem. But at the end of the day, you still have to go out and perform. It looks good on paper. It looks great on paper, but you still have to go out and perform, because if he doesn't, if he comes out in that Florida A&M game and he does not play up to par, you are going to hear overrated. You are going to hear Dion made a horrible decision letting Quincy go. You are going to hear this is what happens when you give your son the starting job and he does not earn it. All these speculations, all these rumors, all these negative and false things are going to come out about him. And those type of things can be very detrimental to a young quarterback's mindset, especially when he has a whole season to go. He has to come out the gate swinging. Now, of course, if you ask him, if you ask Dion, they're going to say no. He's a freshman. He's going to progress. He's going to grow and stuff like that. Or maybe they just have confidence that he's not even going to experience this at all. But me personally, I think if he comes out that gate and he's subpar, the floodgates will come open. And that's just the first game. When you look at the schedule, he got Tennessee State week 2. Okay, I expect that to be a win. Eddie George, he's doing the great things right now. He's getting a really good recruiting class together, his first recruiting class. I got a video on that as well, so check that out. But they're not ready quite yet. But his third game is against an FBS opponent, Louisiana Monroe. That's another game. That's another game where he has to show out or they will get embarrassed. Now, we look at Louisiana Monroe from a standpoint of the rest. We compare them to other FBS schools and think, oh, they're nothing. But to an HBCU school, it could be a lot to handle if you're not prepared. Sheduer has to be prepared for that. He has to ball out. Again, no room for error. Then you got next week you got Delta. I'm expecting that to be a win as well. But then you got Alabama A&M, the game I'm so ready to see because Quincy Casey and the rest of them dogs are coming in and they got a chip on their shoulder. Well, no, they don't have a chip on their shoulder because they beat Jackson State, obviously. But they've heard the talks. You know, they were happy that they beat Jackson State last year, but they heard the talks of, oh, they only won because most of Dion's talent wasn't eligible. Now they are. So now when they go in there, when Coach Maynard takes his team out on that field, because it's in Alabama this year, I'm pretty sure. When he takes his team out on that field, he is gonna be so ready to prove that that win wasn't a fluke, that he doesn't care what kind of stars he has or what kind of transfers he has. He still has to win at this level, and they have to go through Alabama A&M to get to the championship. All right, so I'm just very excited to see that game. Oh, that game right there. He bet not underperform. He bet not underperform. People are gonna be in that comment section saying you made a mistake. People are gonna be in that comment section saying Quincy was right. He can't do it. And the reason why I'm saying this is because when you look at the comments already from the things that have already happened, from the transfers to the practice footage of Sheduer, people are already saying, to even Dion laughing at the question that the reporter asked about the quarterback competition, people are already saying he's been given the job, which again, not true at all. He still had to go in and earn it, but he's the better option. He's a 4-star guy. He was ranked in the ESPN top 300. Yeah, he's the better quarterback. I'm just sorry to say. It happens all the time in college football, but because he's the son of Dion, people want to talk trash and they want to say, "Oh, he was giving it's daddy ball." It's really not. It's really not, right? Now, his last two games, Southern and Alcorn. We all know how bad Southern beat them last year. Now this is a completely different team, but last year, oh my God, I think they only had 60 something yards rushing. They couldn't move the ball at all. They couldn't get anything going. Expect that to change. Expect that to change. I expect that to change simply because their line is not the same as it was last year at all. It's completely different. But Sheduer, this team's success is going to be built around Sheduer's ability to move that ball and move it well. He's a pocket passer. He's not a runner. He's going to be standing in that pocket a lot. There's going to be a lot of pressure on him, okay, especially if his offensive line doesn't gel immediately. And I'm not expecting them to, especially not in week one. So I really wonder how they're going to do against other competition. Because it's easy, when you're beating up on your own teammates in practice, but when you have to go against other guys who are just as hungry and have just as much to prove, especially a team like FAMU who just moved to the SWAC, how are you going to perform? Sheduer is no star. He's no newbie to the cameras. Okay, he played on ESPN in high school multiple times. He had games on ESPN, so it's not that, right? It's the expectations that come with it. And I know he knows about the expectations. There's no way. He's on social media. He's a young guy. There's no way you don't hear the talk. There's no way. How is he going to respond? He's been ignoring it now because he hasn't played there. What can he say? But now that he is QB1, and let's be real, he's QB1. There's no competition anymore. What are you going to do? I want y'all to comment down below. What is your stat line prediction for the first game against FAMU? Me personally, I got him going 240, 250 yards, 3 touchdowns. That's me. That's just me. Maybe I'm being too generous because I'm a big supporter of Jackson State, but that's what I have him as. But I want to know what y'all think. How is he going to perform week one? Realistically. And if he plays if he plays subpar, if he plays at a subpar level, what is that going to do to his psyche? Even with Dion as your coach, you still got to go out there and play. What is that going to do to your psyche as a young quarterback at the college level? Let me know down below. But check this out, man. I really appreciate y'all watching the video. I just want to give my opinions on Sheduer because, the season is only, 80-something days away, and he doesn't have much more time to get ready at all. Even though he already had a spring in that offense with his teammates, he doesn't have much long before he's stressing into that spotlight. So I really just want to talk about what can we expect from him and what's going to happen if he doesn't do well. Because not only that, right? He's projected like they do most top recruits out of high school. He's projected to be drafted in the 4th or 7th round. That make him the first quarterback drafted since Travaris Jackson back in, what was that, 2006. That's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of pressure. The first quarterback drafted since 2006. That is a lot of pressure. There hasn't been many HBCU quarterbacks who would even get a look. Okay, and if they do get a look at the NFL, they're most likely going to have to switch positions to do it. The amount of pressure on this kid is crazy, but I think he can do it. I do. I pray that he doesn't come out the gate and have a subpar game, because that is going to start a roller coaster. Emotionally, it's going to start a roller coaster, okay? In the tabloids and the headlines and the comment section of everywhere, it's going to start a roller coaster. But if I can say anything, I just want to tell y'all to calm down and give it time. People still have to mesh. Yes, Jackson State has a lot of talent that they brought in, but they still have to mesh. They have to get on the same page, and they just got to get right together. Yes, they've had the spring, but anybody who played football will tell you it's different when you're hitting someone who isn't your teammate. It's no matter how many times you practice, no matter how well you prepare in practice, that game is just different. It's going to take time, but I do think he's going to come out the gate swinging. I don't think he'll, be amazing. I hope he is, but I don't think he is. But he's going to be just fine, in my opinion. However, if he is not, I just wanted to say these are the things that is going to come with a bad performance. He cannot afford a bad performance out the gate. He cannot afford a bad performance in his freshman year. But that's all I got to say on that, man. Thank y'all for watching the video. Collegiate Football Legion. Peace.